And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. Radio guy Dr. Mike Prince here with you, and we're ready for our segment that we affectionately call the P3 Cup Challenge, and that is Pettaway Prince Pick'ems. And I have on the line with me right now, I guess he's still kind of healing from his wounds that we gave him on Saturday, Coach Van Pettaway. How you doing today, Coach?
Well, physically and mentally, I'm doing great. I'm just still a little disappointed in my pick. I thought the Braves were ready to play, and after the long layoff, I thought they would come out and light up the scoreboard. But in my estimation, they thought they were allergic to the end zone.
Yeah, I hear you, Coach, but I was I tried to give you a chance to back out with that 38 points. I thought that was a lot of points coming out the gate. And to your credit, on that first drive, I was like, man, Coach might be on to something right here. I mean, they came out looking flawless, and then the layoff, the penalties, and the misfires kind of showed up. But giving credit to North Carolina Central, they were off just as long as Alcorn because they didn't play in the spring either.
Right. Well, they had they were mentally locked in. You know, after Alcorn had that first drive, it seemed as if they flipped the script. They came out, and especially in that second half, they just came out and just played really football. And I don't know, that might have some of the people in the SWAC West thinking that, well, you know what, we might have a chance here. Because they didn't look that strong in the first game now. And I
no, they didn't.
Yep.
They didn't, and I'm not going to abort the ship just yet. It was the first game of the season, and in most cases you're going to have some imperfections, and then I think maybe, including myself, that maybe we had too much expectations from Alcorn, knowing from what we last saw and the reality set in that 18-month layoff is an 18-month layoff. No matter how good you were, you still have to get back into the swing of doing things, and this, to me, is going to be the litmus test for them to build that momentum as they get ready for conference play.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I think that, you know, even with, after saying all of that, I still think that some of the schools, some of the teams, and probably some of the, especially the players, I think this is giving them hope, whereas they felt like Alcorn would just change divisions and would run roughshod over. I think some of those people are saying now, you know what, we do have a chance. We got a chance.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
I think that everybody being able to watch them play that first game is giving some of those teams, I think, in my opinion, giving them some hope.
Well, the hope will get started, and I guess there's hope for you to redeem yourself this week, huh? Because on the record, we got to make sure on the record now, it is technically 1-0 in favor of Team Prince, right?
Right. We both agreed that we thought that they would win, and I went with this outrageous point spread. So by that, yes, you won. I'll give you credit. You were closer to the score than I was, so you get that one.
Okay, and you know what was the ironic thing about it, Coach? I had almost the exact score, just in reverse.
Yes,
it was 23-14 in favor of North Carolina Central, where I thought it would have been 24-14 in favor of Alcorn.
Correct.
So, you know, we both came up short on the head-to-head, but Team Prince is ahead 1-0, which gives us an opportunity for redemption in week 1 officially of college football. And I guess a best place for us to start would be over in the MEAC. You know, we got not as many games as it would be in the SWAC, of course, with the changes that have taken place throughout the lay of the MEAC, but it is what it is. You still have some games. And I guess the first game out of the back, Coach, out of the gate, will be Howard taking on Richmond. They will be at Richmond, and the kickoff time for that is 1 p.m. Central Time for us here. And, of course, we'll give you the opportunity to go first, sir, on your pick. And
I'll take
Clock
Richmond.
is running.
I'll take Richmond over Howard.
Okay, you're going to take Richmond over Howard. Okay, I think I'm going to join that pony with you, and it'll be both of us are saying that Richmond will come out victorious over Howard. Next, we have Bowie State will be taking on Delaware State. That is scheduled for 3 p.m. Central kickoff time. And who do you have in that one, sir?
I got Delaware State. Delaware State, of course, at home.
Delaware State at home. Bowie State, strong program. First game of the season. I think I'm going to split hairs with you on this one, Coach, and I'm going to take Bowie State.
Okay.
I'm going to take Bowie State on that one, which will now lead us to Townsend and Morgan State at Morgan State, 3 p.m. Central kickoff time.
I'm going to go with Townsend.
I'm going to go with Townsend. And I guess we will agree on that one as well. So we have Townsend over Morgan State, which will now lead us further on down the road. And the next game will be another MEAC SWAC challenge. Before we get to that one, let me go with this one here. This one is going to be an interesting one as far as I'm concerned for the season. That's Norfolk State and Toledo. It will be at Toledo, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Well, I think with this being Coach's first game up there, I think there's going to be a few wrinkles that he's going to have. I got to go with the home team on this one. I'm going with Toledo.
Yes, sir. I'm in agreement with you on that one. Toledo should win this one at home, considering all things, the way the stars are lining up, and we are in agreement with that. So far, so good, Coach. We only have one in between us, that degree of separation. And next we have that MEAC SWAC Challenge 2.0, South Carolina State on the road to a place that you might be familiar with, the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. And I already know your pick on this one.
Okay, right. It's a no-brainer. The Bulldogs, because they're both dogs. So the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M will take this one.
Okay, the Battle of the Bulldogs, and I'm going to assure you this, that a Bulldog will be victorious in this game, and I am going to agree with the home team on this one. Alabama A&M victorious over the Bulldogs in representation of South Carolina State. And that was our final game of the MEAC, which now means that we will switch over to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And there's a little wrinkle in this one, Coach, because we have a Thursday night game, and it will feature the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. They will be in Kentucky taking on Murray State. And this being Thursday night action, I'm not real fond of Thursday night action games, but I guess we have to do them and we have to make the pick. So I'm going to allow you, sir, to make your choice known.
For the battle of the M's, Mississippi Valley and Murray, I'm going to have to go with Murray. Murray State at home.
Murray State at home. Vincent Dancy has been doing an exceptional job with the tools that he has to work with. I'm pressing for this 22 season where they'll have 90% of their scholarships. They'll be up to 57. That's not going to help them this week as they'll travel out to take on Murray State. And I am going to pick the home team in this one as well. You say Murray State comes out. As a matter of fact, that game is scheduled for 7 p.m. Central kickoff time. And it will now lead us to our next game. It is going to be Alabama State at home against Miles College, and that is scheduled for a 5 p.m. kickoff time in Montgomery.
Right. And Miles is coached by Ruffin. Coach Ruffin is doing an outstanding job at Miles, but because they're on the road, Alabama State, and I think Coach is looking to make sure that seat. He can cool off that seat a little bit in Montgomery. So I'm going with the Hornets of Alabama State.
Okay, you won't have an argument with me on that one as well, sir. We're all both in agreement that the Hornets should come out on top in that one, and it will lead us to our next game, which will be the, who do we have here?
Southern.
Okay. We'll go Southern. We'll go with Southern. Let's see here. Let's do this.
Okay, go ahead.
Southern, yeah. So no. Southern University at Troy, and that is a 6 p.m. kickoff. Who's your pick in that one, Coach?
Well, I have to go with Troy on this one because they have an outstanding program, and the way they play with Nebraska and some of these other schools, Southern being on the road, I don't think their game is going to travel in this first one, so I got to go with Troy University.
Okay, transitional season for the Jags under the first-year coach, Coach Rollins, who is in my opinion, auditioning for the full-time job because he is still the interim coach. And I think Troy has a little bit too much in the cupboard in this one, and they should come out victorious in this season opening for the Jags. So we're in agreement with that one. Next, it will lead us to, I'll come back to that one. We're going to go now to Bethune-Cookman coming to Texas to take on University of Texas at El Paso. That is scheduled for late 8 p.m. Central kickoff time. And who do you have in that one, Coach?
Well, with Bethune-Cookman changing time zones and going out to El Paso, it's a late game. I'm going to have to go with the home team. I think Texas El Paso will win this one.
Okay, Texas El Paso victorious in that one, and we will not have an argument on that. Now we got some games, in my opinion, that are heating up, Coach, and I think they're going to be some pretty exciting games. And the one that we're going to start with first will be the Grambling State Tigers taking on Tennessee State Tigers. Battle of Tigers. This game is being sponsored and supported by NFL. Big game for both coaches. It is the debut of Eddie George. And what's your pick?
Well, I'm gonna stay in the SWAC and go with Grambling in this one. I think Coach Fobbs will have his kids ready to play. I think Eddie George going in late. They still got to work the kinks out. So I'm going to go with an established team program with the continuity of a head coach. So Grambling State in this one.
Okay, no problem with that one at all in that pick because I believe the eye of the tiger, in the case of the Grambling G-men, they are going to come out with a mission and a statement after going 0 for 4 in the spring. I think they'll win this game, and I think it's going to be a very close game, but Grambling will be the last Tiger standing in that one. That is scheduled for a 3 p.m. kickoff time, and it is now going to lead us to one that's near and dear to me. I don't have to make my pick officially, but it's already done. The Labor Day Classic, 36th annual Labor Day Classic between the Texas Southern Tigers and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Who do you have,
I thought you was going to say that was the best for last.
Well, I'm going in a matter to a game that I really think that's going to be the game of games, in my opinion. Now, I'm a true Panther fan, but there's a game that I think that's going to kind of trump that one as far as all eyes on people, and I'm a realist with that. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, in this game is being played in Houston, but my feelings in my heart is still going to be on the Prairie. I'm going with Prairie View.
Boy, you're a wise man, Coach. You're a wise man. You're a wise man. You know, I don't have to say anything about it. All I'll say on that, sir, is ditto, and let it take care of itself because it is definitely a no-brainer for me. It should be a very interesting contest. Coach Dooley has been successful against Texas Southern since his coming to Prairie View, and I don't see that one being too much of a change in that one. Although Texas Southern, I believe, is going to have a much better season, and they will win some games this season, but not this week in Houston.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
And I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes, sir. Now, it is going to lead us to the game that I think that no doubt is going to be the buzz of the week and possibly the buzz of the season. And it's almost like you hate to see him play it so early, but what a way to get it started to open up the inaugural debut of the FAMU Rattlers, and they'll be taking on the storied Jackson State Tigers. Of course, the Tigers are led by Coach Deion Sanders, and the return to the SWAC for head coach Willie Simmons. Who do you have in this one, sir?
Well, seeing that Sanders nor Simmons will be playing, neither one of those guys will be on the field. I'm leaning now towards Jackson State for the simple fact that they had this overhaul of their roster, and that means that FAMU does not have film on these actual players. So and for that reason, I'm gonna stay in the SWAC. Well, either way I go, I'm gonna be in the SWAC, but I'm gonna stay with the program that has been in the SWAC the longest. I'll stay with Jackson State.
You're going to stay with Jackson State. And, as I watched Alcorn and saw the struggle that they had with the time off, we know it's a solid program. We know that they have some talent on their field, on their side of the ball. And it made me think in parallel of FAMU. FAMU did not play in the spring. Jackson State did. Okay? Does that mean Jackson State has an inside lane as far as guys getting used to the system, guys getting acclimated to the ways of Coach Sanders? But then you add the wrinkle that he has overhauled his entire roster. Is it enough time for these guys to gel together? On the flip side, FAMU, although they hadn't played, they've added some players to their roster, but they've had that time to come together collectively as a squad. And will that be enough to get them over the hump? I think this is one of those statement games for both programs. And as I go all around the mulberry bush, I still got to make a decision, right, Coach? Mm-hmm. And I am going to go with FAMU in this one, sir.
Okay.
I am going to go with FAMU. Okay. Yes, sir. And I think it's going to be a game that will be close as a heavyweight boxing match. There'll be some jabbing, feeling each other out, and get a feel for what each team wants to try to do. And I think a matter of adjustments, I think Willie Simmons and his staff are going to be slightly ahead as far as making the necessary adjustments to pull out the victory. Okay. So I'm picking FAMU.
Good. Okay.
Okay. So we got some pretty good choices. We have one opposition from our MEAC challenge,
right,
and then we have one from the SWAC.
Correct.
Was it one or two?
Let me ask you something. Hey, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Is the Pine Bluff Lane game, has that been postponed?
I have not heard as of yet, as we're doing this session, and hopefully we'll have some information. We can do an update if need be, because
so
I know.
They're scheduled to play this week.
Oh, did I not call them?
No, we did not.
Oh, forgive me, Coach.
No.
Okay.
No. You okay?
Okay, well, I can
insert. That will Lane College be, I think we're both going with the same person anyway. Lane will be visiting Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I think they're one of the dark horse teams in the West. So I'll be voting for UAPB.
Okay, yes, sir. UAPB taking on Lane College. UAPB feeling a bit disrespected, let's say, underappreciated. It's been, you talking about downward spiral to win the West in the spring and then be picked fifth in the division. I think they're going to make a statement, and it's unfortunate that Lane will be the victim of this. And I think they're going to come out with a serious statement and say, don't underestimate us. We'll take what y'all have to say on paper, but we're going to prove to you on the field that we're better than a fifth-place finish.
I think so also.
Yes, sir. So I think that will be a game that the Golden Lions will win rather easily. No disrespect to Lane, but I don't think they'll have much of a struggle against Lane in that one. So, we were the Bowie State over Delaware State. That's where we're in. And then in the SWAC, we have the FAMU Rattlers over the Jackson State Tigers on my side. And so that will be the hairs that be split. That's going to, I guess, make the decision. Now, do you have a SEC game for us this week, sir?
Well, you said we had to stay away from.
You got to stay away from that road. I know you're in Alabama, and I know that's your program and everything, but we're going to stay away from them boys because I think they're going to run through their division. I just really do. I don't see nobody.
So even though they're playing Miami with a returning quarterback and a quarterback that who's a dual threat. Last time we saw a dual threat quarterback against Alabama, Manzone showed everybody what he was made of. So you think that it's a lot for Alabama to beat them?
Yes, sir. And I'd be willing to bet the mortgage on that, sir, if I was a gambling man.
And so you probably would come out on top with that. Well,
yes, sir.
Yes. Well, I tell you what we'll do then. Let's see what Auburn's going to do then. We'll pick the other team in this thing.
Okay. Auburn. And let's see here. We'll look at the schedule here, who Auburn has, unless you already know it, Coach.
No, off the top of my head.
Akron. Oh, Auburn is playing Akron. Okay,
right.
So, okay. Okay.
This time of the year, it's going to be tough to pick against the SEC.
Yeah, because
let's go with a better game.
They're 38 point favorites. Yeah, they're 38 point favorites.
Let's go with Georgia and Clemson.
Okay, there you go.
SEC, and that's against a powerhouse.
SEC powerhouse against the ACC powerhouse. Georgia versus Clemson. Who do you have in this one, sir?
I'm hanging my hat on Georgia.
Georgia.
Yep. I think Kirby Smart. I think this is his year to show that he's made progress down there. He has yet to beat Alabama and Nick Saban, and so he's gonna beat the next best program in the country over the last 5 or 6 years, and that would be the Clemson Tigers.
Man, Dabo is a tough dude to go against, man.
I know he is.
Oh,
but
my.
I just think this is the year of the Bulldogs.
I see you Bulldog thing. I see it. And Coach, I'm gonna give you, before I make my pick, I'm gonna give you, I kind of pull for SEC. I'm a Missouri guy. I like Missouri because I was born and raised in Missouri, and Georgia is in the East, Missouri is in the East, and anything that can give my Tigers or Missouri a leg up, I'm kind of pulling for. But then Clemson is a good team to pull for. But then Georgia is the real deal. Oh, man, decision. You know what, Coach? I'm going to go with Dabo Swinney and Clemson.
Okay, that's good.
We're
against each other, so there's no doubt that we will have a straight-up winner this week. Yep.
Yes, sir. There will be a straight-up winner. And so for clarity, in the MEAC, We are in opposition of Bowie State. In Delaware State, you're choosing Delaware State. I'm choosing Bowie State. In the SWAC, we are in opposition of FAMU to JSU. You got JSU. I have FAMU. And our SEC pick of the week is the Bulldogs of Georgia and the Tigers of Clemson. You're going with the Bulldogs. I'm going with the Tigers. And that's your final answer, sir.
Final answer.
All right, then. Well, it is good enough. And as they say, it is etched. We won't say stone, but etched in the cloud. and the choices have been made. And we will go over these on the next week. Coach, it is always a joy to have you on, and want to make sure that you stay safe and secure and keep on doing what you're doing, my friend.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Prince, and you continue to get the word out and the message out. And I would like for all of our fans, HBCU, SEC, all the fans, think about our teams. And if you think about our teams, that means that you make sure that you're vaccinated. And I think that's what's very important right now, so that our teams can make the end of the season. More people vaccinated, better our chances are of our teams completing the season with the full roster.
Sounds like a message well stated, sir, and I echo the same things. Coach, thank you so much for joining in with us. He is the guru, Coach Van Pettaway. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining them on our P3 Championship Quest Cup. And that's for the record. I just have to say this, Coach, because it just sounds good and feels good. I am leading right now. But we definitely appreciate you, Coach. You guys, thank you for joining us in on this segment. As always, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.